Are you currently finding yourself saying things like, why does it never work for me? I've tried everything and nothing works. Why does it work for everyone else and not me? If so, you've come to the right place. Hi, I'm Callie, your go-to life and mindset coach, and I'm here to support you on this crazy journey we call life. Sometimes we find ourselves hitting a bit of a stumbling block and we just don't know what's going wrong. And this can refer to any aspect of our life. So say, for example, you might be telling yourself, I've tried every diet or exercise program going and my body just isn't changing the way that I want it to. Maybe you're feeling a little bit frustrated because you've probably exhausted the sea of guys or girls on Tinder or Hinge, and you're just thinking, there's literally no one left. There's no one good out there anymore. Good guys just don't exist. Can you see how crazy that sounds? Maybe this is a conversation you're having on the regular with your friends over Prosecco or whatever it might be. Who knows? Now, what if I told you that that stumbling block, no matter what it is, no matter what aspect of your life it's referring to, can be changed with just 3 simple words. Perspective over process. Okay, so bear with me. So the reason you're probably not experiencing that shift or that progression in whatever area of your life it is that you want is potentially because you're focusing more on the process, how you want to get yourself to it, rather than what's going on inside yourself, your belief systems around, can I actually achieve this? AKA the perspective. Perspective over process. So if you're focusing too much on the process, chances are you've probably not given the perspective much thought, and that's where you might be going wrong. Now, if you're a Tony Robbins fan, you may be familiar with his state, story, strategy framework. It's absolutely incredible, by the way, and I use this strategy quite a lot with my clients in coaching sessions, simply because one of the key stumbling blocks that I have noticed my clients come across quite a lot is the fact that they're focusing so much more on how they're going to get themselves to where they want to be, rather than, is this something I can actually achieve? What are my feelings and beliefs around this goal that I've set for myself? Have I already hit a stumbling block with that? So this is where I'm kind of going with this perspective over process strategy. So here we go. Okay, so very often when we've finally made that decision to make a change in our life, in whatever aspect of our life it might be, whether it's our health, our relationships, our career, business, whatever it might be, you've decided to make that change, you've set that goal, you've set that intention for yourself, and you're ready to move forwards. A lot of the time, what will happen is we will focus on how we're going to get ourselves there. So what can I do to get myself to where I want to be, to the weight that I want to be in the relationship that I want to be? So to give you an example of when we focus a lot on the how. So say, for example, I've decided I want to meet someone new, and I think, okay, I'm just going to download all the dating sites and I'll just meet someone that way. So that's your how. How you're going to meet someone is on dating sites. So you'll download Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, whatever it might be. And that's your how. That's how you're going to meet someone. It might be that you want to focus on your health, you've decided you want to get fitter, and you've seen a fitness program that you really want to try, or a certain dieting regime that you really want to try, and that's your how. You've decided on how you're going to lose weight or how you're going to get fitter is through doing this particular exercise program or regime or diet, whatever it might be. If you're starting with the how, once you've made that decision of what change you want to make, this is where you could potentially be going wrong and not seeing the results that you want to. The reason being is because if we've got a negative perspective on that area of our life, it doesn't matter how we choose, what process we choose, what strategy we use, it's not going to work. We have to do that inner work first to make sure our head's in the right place before we move on to any process, any how. Don't get me wrong, it could work for a little bit, but chances are you're not going to see those consistent results. There's going to be some fluctuation perhaps in the results that you see, in the progress that you make in this area of your life. So for example, this is quite familiar to people who are quite yo-yo dieters, or they're in and out of relationships because they've not done the inner work first. They've not built that perspective first before they then work on the process, how they're going to get themselves to where they want to be. So for example, if you're saying things like, I can never meet anyone, I can't trust any guys or girls, anything like that, it doesn't matter how you go out and meet someone. Whatever dating site you go on, however many dates you go on, however you meet anyone, it's not going to remain consistent because you have a belief system in place, your perspective around dating and relationships in general that needs to be worked on first. In order for you to see successful results in whatever change you want to make in your life, your perspective has to be aligned to that process. So if you want to make a change in your life and you want to be successful and sustain that change, you have to first start by addressing the beliefs you have around whatever aspect of it is in your life that you want to change before you even start to think about how you're going to get yourself there. It's really important. So just off the bat really, if you are listening to this video and you've got something in mind of an area of your life that you want to change or you want to work on, it might be a certain goal or target, what is the narrative you're telling yourself about that area of your life, that aspect of your life that you want to change? Make a note of it as you, well, whenever you want to really. If you don't want to do it right now, it's entirely up to you. But if you feel that you have the time and you've got a goal in mind that you want to work on, start by focusing on the narrative of the story that you're telling yourself, the belief that you have around who you are as a person in relation to this goal, this change that you want to make, and see how you find that first before you start looking at the process, the how you're going to get yourself there. Now, when we think about change in our life, change can be sometimes quite a scary thing to deal with. And funnily enough, with that fear around change, it's not necessarily the process. It's not the thought of, well, okay, bearing in mind, it could be the thought, depending on your perspective, a bit of a double-edged sword there, but you know what I mean. So it's not the actual process itself. It's not the how you're getting yourself there. It's your perspective behind whatever it is that you've decided how you're going to make that change. So change can often be seen to be quite a scary thing. We can become so afraid and fearful of change. But funnily enough, it's not actually the process, the how we're getting ourselves there, the being on the dating sites, the doing the exercise regimes, the throwing ourselves into a new business or career perhaps. It's the perspective behind why we're doing this that can often be the challenge and why that change can be quite scary. This is because when you are challenging that perspective that you have on a situation that stopped you from making that progress in the past, you're going against a lifetime of belief systems that have shown you why this can't happen for you. So I'm here to show you, if we change that perspective and we challenge that old perspective, we can really see the results that we want to see. But it all starts with that change, that desire for change, challenging that old perspective, recreating that new perspective before we think about anything else. So the perspective that you have on any situation or aspect of your life is built up from a lifetime of experiences and memories, and then based on your thoughts in relation to those life experiences and memories. So say, for example, you've been in and out of quite crappy relationships, and in your head, you've built this belief system of, I'm so unlucky in love. Love doesn't work for me. Why can everyone else be happy and not me in relationships? It might be that you've said, I am just not destined to be fit and healthy. I've tried everything going, it doesn't work for me. It might be that you're trying to set up a business or change your career and you're saying things like, no, I have severe imposter syndrome with that. I can't bring myself to set up a new business. I will struggle financially. I won't have the time capacity to be able to set up my own business. I'm destined to be in this career. I'm potentially not built for a career that I would really love, but I have X, Y, and Z as reasons why it can't work for me. These are all based on past experiences, memories, thoughts around who you are as a person, and this is what we need to work on first. What is your perspective on this situation? Is it really positive? Are there some niggling negative doubts and thoughts and barriers that you're putting in place? Challenge them. Your old thought processes and beliefs don't have to dictate who you are as a person. You can challenge them and you can change them in any given moment if you feel that you can do that. Start challenging that perspective. But how can I shift the beliefs that have been embedded within me for so long? I hear you say. Don't worry, I've got you. So I've kind of brushed on this slightly already in terms of challenging that old perspective, and I've got a whole video coming up on belief systems. So if you think that's going to interest you and benefit you, particularly with kind of what we're talking about in this video, please make sure you're subscribing to my channel so you don't miss out. It's going to be a good one. But what I am going to talk about briefly for the last part of this video is this idea of changing your mood to change your perspective. It's amazing how a shift in your mood can completely change and shift your perspective on any given situation. Take working out, for example. If you are the kind of person who's decided, right, I'm going to do a workout, I need to get it done, but you're kind of slumped, you're feeling like rubbish, you really don't want to do it, and your energy is just really, really low, chances are you're probably not going to get the full effect from that workout compared to if you went into your workout space, wore your favorite gym outfit and were going, yeah, let's do this. I've got this. I'm unstoppable. This is going to be the best workout ever. I can do it. When you lift that energy, your perspective on any situation can be so different. The beauty of shifting your mood or your mindset is kind of a fake it till you make it situation, to put it bluntly. So for example, if you're feeling in a really, really crappy mood, one of the easiest ways that you can completely shift your mood in an instant is sitting in front of a mirror and just smiling at yourself in the mirror. It's going to feel extremely awkward for probably a good 30 seconds of that minute, but you know, once you actually get into the swing of it and you're just there smiling at yourself, your whole perception on who you are as a person, your mood, your mindset will instantly start to shift, because what you're seeing reflected back at you is someone who's smiley, someone who's happy. And how can that not change your mood? This is the beauty of it. Just by faking a mindset shift, saying affirmations and statements like, I can do this, I'm unstoppable, nothing can beat me, show me how amazing it gets, we can instantly start to shift our perspective on situations just like that. So going back to this notion of perspective over process, if you're struggling at the start to change that perspective, because it can be quite difficult to change if we're trying to challenge a whole lifetime of narratives that have told us otherwise and built this perspective that's potentially unfavorable, that isn't giving us the results we want. It can sometimes be quite difficult to all of a sudden go in and start challenging and changing that perspective. And it does take a little bit of time. But one of the easiest, quickest ways we can get into that mindset shift is lifting our mood, because everything is energy. If we're in a low energy state, we're less likely to see any results because we don't have that power force behind us to want to make those results. If, for example, we increase our energy, and we can do it in a fake it till we make it type way until it starts to become more comfortable and familiar to us, but you can do those instant mood shifts that increase your energy, and instantly we can start to see a new perspective on things. So can you see how it starts to connect together now? Once we lift our energy, we can start to change our perspective, and once our perspective is fully aligned with where we want to be, that's when we can start thinking about how we're going to get ourselves to where we want to be. But we have to focus on that perspective first. To get us into that perspective, we have to start shifting our mood and shifting that energy. So if you're going to take a key take-home message from this video, you have to remember that in order for you to achieve what you want to achieve, to have that sustaining, lasting change in your life, in whatever aspect of your life it is, you have to make sure that your perspective is fully aligned with what you want to achieve. Forget about how you're going to get there right now. It really doesn't matter. You don't need to worry about that. You have to first make sure that you have the right mindset in place that's going to push you in the direction of moving forward towards that goal that you've set for yourself. I can guarantee you now, we will never be able to do something if we're telling ourselves that we can't do it. It won't work for us. It doesn't happen for me. If you have those scenarios lingering around in your head, you're going to really impact the results and progress you're going to experience when it comes to whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life. If you feel that you would like any support in really doing that inner work, challenging the old perspectives, creating a new perspective in order to get yourself to where you want to be with no barriers or challenges in place, please feel free to get in touch anytime. I'd love to hear from you, and I'm always here to support you on this crazy journey we call life. If you liked this video, please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.